What is going on, creatives? Tunji from Caesar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create 3D mockup using Pacdora. It's super easy, fun, and user-friendly. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this tutorial, so let's start. Pacdora is a revolutionary web-based software designed to unleash your packaging creativity with simplicity at its core. It empowers individuals, designers, and small business owners to effortlessly create stunning 3D mockups and custom dielines. Choose from a vast library of over 4,900 templates and watch your dream packaging come to life in breathtaking 3D realism. Their interface offers a seamless experience, allowing you to craft personalized package designs with ease. And that's what I'm going to show you guys how to achieve in this tutorial. So I'm going to start by selecting the template and dielines menu here. All right, so right here we have lots of dielines and 3D view of the dielines. All right, and I'm going to share why I so much love the fact that we can see the 3D view of the dieline before the end of this tutorial. So I'm going to scroll back up and select this option here. All right. And another cool thing I love about this platform is the fact that when you select your preferred option, it's going to open it on a new tab for you. This is beautiful. You have the property tab here where you can insert your custom size. All right. And I'm going to play with the width now by changing the width to 1.8 just to show you guys what is going to happen when I do that. So when I click out of the width option now, you see that the website automatically reload itself to change the frame to that size that I just entered. All right, now you can also change the thickness of the card, and also so you can change this from white to any of this option here, but I'm just going to stick to white because of time. Yeah, you can change the color of the whole design, and you can change the color of the inner, all right, or change the color of the outer dimension. There are times where you may want to change the color of the outside and the inside of the the box. All right, so another cool thing I love about this again is the fact that we can always rotate the view of our box here just to see how wide the side is or the front and back is. You can also move your dieline around with this option here. You can zoom in, you can also zoom out, like that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to select the option I preferred here for my dieline. All right, so I'm going to stick to AI because Adobe Illustrator is it's a vector-based application that you can always use to edit your, vector. So I'm going to select download the dieline button here. And look at this. So the website is downloading the file for me. So we're going to wait for it to download. And so we have the file here. So I'm going to click on this icon here because I'm using Google Chrome. So I'm going to click on the folder icon. So I have Illustrator open, and I'm going to drag the file that we downloaded from Pacdora and drop into my Illustrator application here, and I'm going to select the OK button. So now I'm going to zoom in with Control Space Bar. All right, so look at the three lines we have here. We have the bleed, the trim, and the crease. So the green line here is the bleed, the trim is the blue line, and the red is the crease. So the crease is the fold part of the dieline. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a design, and we're going to take this back to Pacdora to create the 3D mock-up of the design. So to do that, all right, what we're going to do is to take out the unwanted contents from this dieline here. So I'm going to start by selecting the projects like that, and I'll go to object and select clipping mask and hit release. All right, then I'm going to select the shape like that and hit delete and take out all this information that we have here. All right. So take this out, take this out, take this out, take this out. Good. Then I'm going to select the outlines and make this big like that. All right, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer and move this below the dialine or outline layer like that. And I'm going to lock this layer because I'm about to do something here. I want to show you guys something. So I'm going to draw a shape like that and cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lock the shape layer that I just drew and unlock the dialine layer and take out all this white fill from the layer. So I'm going to select this. So let's see if we can just take this out. Good. So I'm going to hit delete like that. So we only have the outlines now. I'm going to take this out. So let's delete it. And I'm going to save this project. So I'll go to File and select Save a Copy. And I'm going to open the X folder that I created and call this Export Dialine. Let's take out the copy. All right. Then I'm going to choose Adobe Illustrator here. And I'm going to select the Save button here. All right. And again, I'm going to select OK. All right. So let's go to Photoshop and make our package design. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag the Illustrator project and drop on the empty space here and release. And Photoshop is going to give me this option. And I'm going to make sure that my resolution is set to 300. Mode is going to be on RGB. Then I'm going to make sure my bit depth is set to 8. All right. So I'm going to select the OK button. I already have the design here. So I decided to do that to save time. So I'm going to drag this design I did for Pacdora. I'm going to drag that and drop here. All right, like that. And right now we can't really see our content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer and move this below this layer here and call this BG. All right, and call this dialine. So I'm going to select the BG layer and I'm going to select the eyedropper tool and sample the color from the Pacdora logo. And I'm going to apply the color using the shortcut by hitting Alt and backspace. All right, now let's start fine-tuning this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the design folder back a bit because this information here is too close to the crease. All right, so I'm going to move this in like that. Okay, I think this is better. I'm going to select magic wand to here and select the dialine layer. And I'm going to click on the empty area where we don't have the dialine to create a marquee there like that. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this background layer now. And I'm going to hold down Alt and click on the layer mask button here to create a mask of the dialine shape. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to take out the dialine because we're taking this back to Pacdora. So I'm going to select Control Alt and S here on my keyboard because I'm using Photoshop CC 2022. All right, so I'm going to call this, let's just give this a wrap, and I'm going to make sure my save as type here is set to PNG. All right, very important because we need the background to be transparent. All right, so I'm going to select save. All right, and I'm going to make sure my option here is set to the large file size. So I'm going to select the OK button, and we are going to go straight to Pacdora to apply the wrap to the 3D mockup. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to select the tab where we selected the dialine. All right, and before we get to the mockup parts, make sure you remember the name of the dialine you use, or you can just, remember this image of the 3D here, because by the time we get to the mockup page, it'll be easier for you to locate the right 3D object. So I'll go to the mockup menu here now. I'll click on it. All right. And here we are on the mockup page. So if you can't find the image, you can use the search bar to locate the design you're looking for. So I already know what I'm looking for, and this is it right here. So I'm going to click on it, and we're going to wait for Pacdora to do its thing. All right. So here we are now, and we have our 3D objects now on our screen. So you can always click and rotate to see different angle of the, the 3D object or the box. So what I'm going to do now is, because I know we've tampered with the dieline, all right, the width of the dieline, and we need to apply the same move here. Why? Because if we don't do that, our design is not going to wrap well around the 3D object. So what I'm going to do is I'll go under custom size here and go straight under the width here, because it's the width that we played with. And remember, our unit was on inches. All right. For you to confirm that, you can always go back and see we are on inches here. So I'll go back to the 3D mockup and change this to 1.8. Good. Then I'm going to hit the apply button here to apply the change to my 3D object here. All right. Then the other thing you can do here is you can still change the color of your cardboard. All right. You can change the color here, but I prefer the white. So I'm going to go back. So you can always change your model here. So if I want to change my model, let's say I notice I'm not using the right model, I can always come to the model button here and change to any of this model here, and you can click on this option here to select the to jump straight to the category that you're looking for. All right. And also you can change the background. All right. The background of your canvas here. So I'm going to choose white. And also you can change, you can have a custom color here. All right. You can have a custom color. All right. And let's see, I can also go under the color tab here and change this to transparency, or you can always use any color of your choice. So for me, I'm going to make this transparent because I don't want to have any, color on my background. And if you have any image you want to put on your background here, you can always go to the image tab here and select upload background image. All right. So yeah. So I'll go back to the color tab, and I think I prefer making it transparent because I'm going to be saving this as a PNG file and I don't want anything on my background. All right, then you can always go to the video tab here to just see what this is going to look like in the video view. So if I click on this now, you see how Pacdora animated that particular box. All right, and you can also choose to rotate it 360 like that. All right, and we can go on the 3D design and just have a different background, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this later. So let's continue with the edit, and I'm going to click on the upload your image button here. Select the wrap image that we saved from Photoshop, and I'm going to select open. All right, and boom, look at how beautiful this is. So what we're going to do is to make this fill the empty area here, those white area that we have on our artboard here on our screen. So I'm going to make this bigger like that. Yeah, you can always do this. All right, and another cool thing about this is you can always do your design here. All right, it's not compulsory you do your design with Photoshop or Illustrator. All right, you can always come under the elements tab here and add any element of your choice. So let's say I want to add this recycle icon here. I can always drag that and drop here, and I can come right here and change the color of this to white, and I can make this smaller like that and position this somewhere here. And I can also add text. Yeah, you can also add text to this. So I can click right there and say, please recycle, or let's just say recycled. All right. Then you can change the character to any character of your choice here. So you can change the size of the character and change the color also to white. All right. And yeah, and you can move this to where you want it. All right, like that. And if you want, you can also duplicate this. So let's say I want to repeat this two elements on this side of the project. I can always come right here and say duplicate, and I'll move this to this side here. All right, and move this here. And I also like the fact that we have this guides, making us know if our elements are both on the same line. This is beautiful. So I can duplicate this also. So right click. Woo! I thought I right clicked, and so you can right click and select duplicate, and you can move this right about here. All right. And you can then, this is nice. Under inspiration here, you can always change the background of your project. But because I already have this design in Photoshop, I don't need any of this. All right. But just in case you want to use any of this, you can select it here. You can select it and it will automatically go on the background of your project. All right. But I don't want it. So I'm going to hit cancel to take it out from my project like that. Let's still make this a bit bigger. Like that. Good. All right. So now I'll go back to the upload. All right. And let's see what else we can play with here. So we can also check, the opening of the box by moving this slider here to open. And you can move this to close. And you can check the inside if you want. But my focus is just to play with the outside. All right. So if you want to change the color of the inside, you can always click on the inside option here and do whatever you want to do. You can add images. You can go to the inspiration here and just pick any of this option here to fill the inside. And yeah, like that. And now if I go to the outside now and I go and open this, you see we have that pattern inside the box. All right. So yeah, that's for that. And when you're done with all your moves, you can always hit the save button here. And Pacdora will take you back to the mockup page. All right. So now you can rotate this to see what your mockup look like. You can still open it and you can still close it. Now let's go straight to the 3D design here and see how beautiful and powerful this platform is. So if I click on any of these options here, all right, it's going to take me to the creative tab. This page here is not different from Adobe Dimension. So just look for any of these options that look like what you're looking for, and this application is going to repeat the option you selected. All right, so I'm going to show you what I'm saying here. So let's say I prefer this design here. So if I click on this, Pacdora is going to load and see how beautiful this is. All right, look how nice this is. You can always, rotate this to look the way you want it. And you can also go back here and see what this is going to look like. All right. And you can also click on this option here and it's still going to look nice. Look at how beautiful this is, guys. I so much love this platform. This is beautiful. So, and another cool thing you can do is you can always change the color of your background with the elements that you have on that particular scene. So I'm going to, let's just stick to this because of contrast. All right, so I'm going to move this and just rotate it this way. All right, so I'm going to show you guys one more thing before we go. You can always access your recent projects by going to the menu button here and click on the My Project option here. And if you're the type who doesn't speak English, you can always change your language here. And when you're done working on any 3D mockup, you can always, log out if you want to sign out. So if I click on the my project here, I'm sure you guys can see that I have my recent project here in on my browser. And if I want to open it, I can always double click on the project. Now that I'm done with my mockup, I'm going to hit the super export button here. And I'm going to show you guys the different tabs that we have here. So here we can export as JPEG or PNG. All right. So if I hit the PNG option, my background is going to be transparent. And if I hit the JPEG option here, I'm going to have this filled white color on the background. And we can always choose between 2K and 4K. All right. So since I'm not printing this, I'm going to use 2K. But if you are printing this, you can use 4K. All right. If you're putting this on the print project, use 4K. So I'm going to use 2K. And let's go to the die-line option here. Yeah, I know we already have the wrap design, but there are times where, you are going to make changes here on your wrap with Pacdora. So if you want to export the Pacdora design change, you can always export it here. You can export as AI and you can export as a PDF document. So if you're printing this, if you're putting this on a print, export as CMYK. But if it's just for web, all right, if it's something you just want to use on the internet, like you just want to place it on your social media account, or you want to send it to your client to check it on his or her mobile phone, it's advisable you use RGB. And you can export as die-line. And let's go straight to the videos. All right, now here you can export as you can choose any of these options here, any of your preferred option here, and hit the export option here. All right, and send the video to your client. Or you can export as a code where you can embed it to your website and hit the generate HTML code here. All right. You can remove the official logo, but I don't think there's any problem with this. And another cool thing about this is you can still export as HTML with the box open like this. And the last option here is the share option here. So you can always copy the code by clicking on the copy code option here and send this link to your client for him or her to see what this is going to look like in a 3D form. So I'm going to show you what this is going to look like now. I'm going to create a new tab here and I'm going to right click and say paste and go here on my browser. I'm using Google Chrome. Yeah. So here, this is what it's going to look like. And now your client can always rotate to see this in different camera angle. And he or she can also open the box and close it. All right. Yeah, so that is that. And now you can now export your project. So if I go back here and hit the export button, I have the project exported. I'm sure you enjoy the process. So what are you waiting for? Register today at Pacdora.com and use my code Caesar to get 20% off. You can also follow them on Instagram at Pacdora. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.